We have none, Mr. President.
Petitions and remonstrances from the lobby.
We have 3, Mr. President. Larry Klipstein. The subject is longevity, bonus, and overtime.
Good evening, Larry Klipstein, 959 Oakwood Drive. Good evening, council members, president, and administration. Elyria must do all it can to cut unnecessary costs. We have seen through the Chronicle Telegram recently where over $3 million was spent on longevity pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars on bonuses, and even as the economy was reeling through 2008 and everybody else's budgets were being cut, Elyria still had money for bonuses in 2008. Also, we've seen overtime go out the roof lately, according to this article in the Chronicle. And my question to the president, to the law director is, can Elyria's contracts with its employees be open at the city's discretion, or do we have to wait until the contract expiration date?
Mr. Schilling, would you, before you get to Mr. Schilling, Mr. Pileski, could you address that bonus?
The bonuses that appeared in the newspaper are a number of items. The police and fire department receive things like college incentive, clothing allowance, physical fitness bonuses, confined space bonus. Them are the majority of what appears in the bonus column. There are a couple of items like we require employees' spouses to get their own health care coverage if it's available through their work, and we reimburse up to $125 a month for a single plan to the employee when their spouse gets that coverage. That also appears in the bonus column. And vacation and sick buyback, which is an incentive for employees not to use sick time if they're within 5 years of retirement under PERS, they're able to sell back vacation and sick time, and that appears in the bonus column. But the majority of it are union negotiated bonuses. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schilling, could you?
It's not a unilateral thing when it comes to opening union contracts. It has to be by both sides. The city cannot do it just on its own.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm not saying that we shouldn't pay employees a good rate, a good wage, but a lot of the costs and the payments in the Chronicle reported seem to be outstanding according to what other cities would pay their employees. As one lady spoke here before, and she worked in Cleveland, their longevity rate was nothing like Elyria's, where it was 1% per year for the next 20 years and up. Also, we were asked last November, as a lot of people have been asking me, to approve a levy to stop any cuts. But a lot of people now are wondering if the levy was actually spent on the overtime, longevity, and the bonuses that were needed for the city to pay out. Many people have told me in my neighborhood and around the city that they feel that if the city can spend over $3 million on longevity and other forms of bonuses and overtime, then they don't need another levy on the be passed by the city, because there seems to be a lot of money to go around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Teresa Shea, subject Elyria.
Teresa Shea, 519 East Avenue. There seems to be a sense of panic permeating the city. Elyria is an old city that has endured many different changes. Since I first came here, I was always investigating the past to try to understand the present. Some things I read left me with an idea of the personality of the city. When things have gone wrong, there is a mob mentality that emerges, a hysterical reaction to circumstances. After an event, sometimes a lot of time has to pass for people to regain a sense of reason. In the past, our civic leaders made good and bad decisions. We are different now because we all have a voice. We be black, white, Hispanic, Oriental, man or woman, all races. What is happening now is that we as a city are being threatened with a lack of a jail, cuts in the police and fire departments, threats of diminished service from the city. It's as if the criminals already know that there won't be enough police. They use my street as a parking lot, parking backwards or whatever, and oh yes, my criminals were involved in the shooting on Middle Avenue. Cut the police, cancel the jail, cut the services, the fire department, and on and on. Hysteria is here. But wait, the administration is not cut enough. Its ivory castle endures. Must have their fluff, must have their extra monies. When I first came to council for help, it was 2003. There was a dingy room with a long table, not all this. You sat at the table and told your problem. I didn't get the help I needed then, but there was no fluff. Shape up, administrators. Stop rattling people's cages with threats about safety and services. We need our jail, our police, fire, and we need services. I need to see the police station fully staffed at the front desk and our ranger for the park. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colleen Hurst. Subject is general comments.
Hello, Colleen Hurst, 211 Warren Avenue. First, I want to thank, through Council President Mr. Eichenlaub, thank you for the information that you responded to for me at a previous meeting. Now, I'm glad the budget's already been mentioned and that I understand we've got a loss, we're going to have to cut more. However, I want to say I was very disappointed to hear that the budget was voted on and passed at the last council meeting with no allowance for hearing public opinion. I've been to the meetings where the budget was sent through its mandatory readings. I've also been present at meetings prior to those readings, council and committee. There were no offers to the public to give their input regarding this budget. Now, I personally made an effort, and thankfully Mr. Pileski accommodated me to give me some time to answer questions of mine about the budget and graciously gave me the time before the budget was voted on. And I'm very disappointed that it was discussed among all of you and none of these people got to talk about it. Just because we're not where you are doesn't mean we don't have valid opinions and that we can't offer a helpful perspective. And so I'm left with more questions than answers, like why was the budget delayed to the last minute to necessitate the 3 special council meetings just to get the 3 readings done before the month-end deadline? I know we had an unforeseen deficit and that the budget and the decisions had to be made with respect to cuts and layoffs. I'm also aware that those aren't easy decisions to make. But might I point out that there seems to be a lot of signs of an ineptitude lately with respect to this administration, missing deadlines, scrambling to the last minute. And as Mrs. Mitchell had pointed out at a previous meeting, it can cause decisions to be made without due consideration. I know a lot of changes have been made because of uncertainty with other issues, but that does not excuse this council from now not allowing we residents to have our voice in the matter. Many have offered suggestions, ideas, and perspectives in previous addresses since I've been coming here the middle of December of last year. People have been sending mail, they've been calling council people, they've been appearing here and addressing you personally, and all for the effort of helping council and the administration understand other points of view or consider alternatives that may help bridge the gaps between the sides. Sadly, it seems to be falling on deaf ears. I say this because some members of this council and administration seem to have their minds made up before they come in here to vote. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like from where I sit. This may seem discouraging, but I actually find it motivational. I will continue to seek answers and offer ideas, perspectives, and alternatives to my city leaders, because when it comes to when the public becomes complacent is when government becomes abusive. I don't want to see that happen here locally, statewide, nationwide, any of it. I am watching, listening, and learning to try to help all of you and all of us. Hopefully others will realize the need to work together and listen to one another to compromise with give and take so that we can all move forward in a productive and positive way. Thank you.
Thank you.